All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my singles and tag team competitors. I'm your host for the Friday Night Lowdown, Throwdown, Hoedown, Bring Around Town, Break an Egg, do whatever, add adjectives, verbs, pronouns, add whatever you want to the towel. I'm your host, the freaky one, Freaky Fritos, and I'm joined by my astounding colleague, the Professor of Love, the man who runs your AEW show, the recap. It is Big Daddy. Watch. See?
What's going on, man? It's been a while since I've been on the Smackdown pod, so I should be on a little bit more often now. Things are starting to settle down and give myself at least enough time to nap and everything on Friday. So I was able to do that today. So you'll be seeing me a lot more often on the Smackdown pod. So glad to be back.
Nap. Sleeps for the week. I've been up since 3 o'clock, and I'm on my fourth cup of coffee, second energy drink. My body is slowly dying inside. I don't feel it, except for the headaches.
I'm 31, about to be 32 in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today. So I need all the naps I can get, man.
Well, you know who didn't have any naps today? It's the WWE superstars at Seattle. We had a great, decent show here at Seattle. Let me get my lovely notes up. We opened our show with Nick Aldis out in the ring. Was going to talk about the situation receiving the RKO from Randy Orton when Randy comes out. And he mentions the fact that I brought up he paid for it. So that was a freebie. But he wants this match more than anything. This is number 20 for him. And if he doesn't get that match, he's going to feel sorry what he's going to do to him and what he's going to leave for Mickie James, which I thought was a nice call out. The crowd was shocked. Then afterwards, he got interrupted by Solo and Tama, as he referred to him, which eventually led to LA Knight helping Randy and leading into the end of the beginning of the segment, which I liked it a lot. I mean, we're still leaving a mysterious opponent who we don't know for Randy. I mean, I think they kind of pivoted it towards Solo Sikoa, which I hope that's not the pivot to, just based off of, everyone's reactions off of X and just the crowd reaction. I'm hoping it's still Nick Aldis. I know there's rumors about Aleister Black potentially, if not Rusev. But your thoughts?
I think I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't go to. I mean, I see that they addressed partially the whole RKO situation there, but they didn't rule out the possibility of them linking up in the future. I feel like it is going to happen, just not at WrestleMania. It could happen. We know, like, anything can happen. So they just throwing it out there for.
When's the last time we had a manager in a match?
Actual GM.
Mm-hmm.
GM wise, shit, probably damn near a decade, honestly, because I mean, the last authoritative figure to have a match. I want to say Kurt Angle.
That's right, he was.
Yeah, it was Kurt Angle.
Or was he in that weird stage of his career where kind of GMing but also in ring?
It was that. It was that whole situation, because I know he had it was the Survivor Series match. That's what it was. Right. Yep. Yeah, because he was the GM for Raw, and and Shane was the GM for SmackDown.
That's right.
Yep.
But leading into this, it led us into another big WrestleMania match going on. It was the women's tag team gauntlet match. We had Raquel and Liv out on ringside watching to see who are they going to face. We started off with Bayley and Lyra, who had a match against each other Monday night for the women's IC championship. So I kind of thought that might have played a role, but they, decent tag team, worked well together. Then starting off, they went against Team Scissor Me Timber. Had to get that in for you. Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler. Afterwards, they won and eliminated them, and it was Natalia and Maxine Dupree, which everyone knows I'm a big Alpha Academy fan. Maxine's really growing on me. She's really learning a lot in the ring. She had a lot of highlights in her portion of it, but they got eliminated. Natalia was extremely upset. They had a little backstage thing, like on social media, if you saw. Natalia was kind of annoyed, so I don't know what the storyline they're going to go with that is. So kind of keep an eye on that. I think it's going to help Maxine projectile in her career with a veteran like Natalia if they do a solo run with them. After that, it was Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Then after they just running through everyone, then it was B-Fab and Michin, which B-Fab had a lot of screen time again. She's almost the same role as Maxine, where she's starting to get more screen time, more in-ring time, and I think she's going to be one of those up-and-comers too, where it's going to projectile her more. Then your last one was Alba Fire and Piper Niven, which they were wrestling in the Secret Service like outfit, so just in suits. So I'm going to give them full credit, because I know if my big fat ass was in suits wrestling, I would be dead within the first 2 minutes, especially with the tie and all that. You ladies killed it. And they had the majority of the in-ring performance between the two. And honestly, Alba and Piper, I kind of wish they would have won. But it was ultimately Bayley and Lyra winning and facing Raquel and Liv at WrestleMania. I'm not too upset about the matchup. I'm glad we're seeing more Lyra. That's one thing I would say about Raw is they're lacking with Lyra. But also, you introduced the women's mid-card championships. We had to see those be defended at WrestleMania. I felt like they kind of missed that after introducing both those titles. So I think it's great you're showing Lyra with the championship, but I don't see them winning it at all. Any thoughts, Big Daddy?
The one thing I like about that is that they basically put a focus back on the women's tag team division. I know they kind of took they've been kind of like in the background as of late. Not too much, but I think compared to all of the other like just the men's tag teams on both rosters and just the women's in general. I know they've been taking like a back seat. And so you don't want it to be that much of a you don't want them to be too much in the background, So it's good that they're starting to put a focus back on them as we gear up to towards WrestleMania. Get some of the win that TVs get them to be showcased, see their talent. So they, even if they don't do anything in the tag team scene, they could potentially do something, in the mid card or possibly main event scene down the line. And so it was nice to see all the women get their shine on SmackDown. That's one of the things I've liked about SmackDown. Like a lot of people that aren't on TV as much, I think the women are more showcased on SmackDown. I feel like compared to Monday Night Raw, like they just focus on the main, pretty much on the main storylines with the women on Raw compared to SmackDown. I feel like more people get opportunities on SmackDown than they do on Monday Night Raw. So it's nice to see. In terms of Bayley and Lyra getting a tag team title opportunity, I thought it was random, considering the fact that they just had a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown, on Monday Night Raw. So it's kind of weird that this all of a sudden they're a tag team now. Um, I don't know what's going to come of it. We'll see at WrestleMania, but yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. SmackDown does highlight the women a lot. I think it is because of the 3 hours. They have the extra hour to showcase the women and stuff like that. Because right now on Raw, with it being not a set time where they could go either 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, or 3 hours, or whatever they want to do, it's kind of lacking because they mainly focus on Bianca right now, Io Sky, and Rhea. You do get Nebula in there a couple times when she's walking with American Made. You do get Maxine Dupree occasionally. They don't really highlight really much of the women, or Lyra once in a blue moon. So I'm glad they did this and show them off. But you know who was showed off here, or did show something off, was the next segment with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Damian was coming out, then got blindsided by Drew, which Drew afterwards, Damian was escorted back out there. Drew went on a rant saying how he's coming for Damian at for a Sin City street fight match at WrestleMania, then revealed that his eye is 100% good, which I wish he would have saved that for WrestleMania, because I honestly dig the look with the eye patch. He reminded me of the, I posted on X, can't think of the guy's name, from Game of Thrones, the priest that always keeps dying and has a flaming sword. He looks like he's about ready to go fight some White Walkers.
I cannot think of the name right now.
It was season 3 or 4 when he fought the Hound. The Hound killed him, and he was brought back immediately. The Lord of the Light brings me back. That guy. But anyways, continuing on. Then we see Damon come back out, tossing security, and those.
You said season 3 with was a priest with.
Yeah, season 3 or 4, but he was like the very last season, like close. He died on the very last season. But the season before, or the episode, season 7, when they were trapped on the frozen lake, surrounded by the White Walkers with the flaming swords. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Comment. You know who I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I just can't think of the name.
Exactly. Too many damn names, George. Get them right. But afterwards, those two large gentlemen go after each other. Damien had a little bit of a, and then Drew finally releasing that demon, that dragon, whatever you want to say that's in him, and took Priest out, and finally getting a DDT on 2 of the steel stairs, and it looked nasty, but we get the ultimate look of pain from Damien, which, like I said, I wish he would have kept the eye patch and would have revealed he's 100% healthy at the match. But I thought, a decent build up to it. I don't think it's going to be a great match between them two. It's just something I'm not really looking forward to. I know Virgil's talked about he's not interested because it's Damien. Damien's just trying to find his new footing by himself, because he's been used to being in Judgment Day, and this whole new thing is just being solo is different now. But going into our next match of the night, it's the second match for Rey Fenix versus Berto. It was just a bunch of high-flying luchador moves, which eventually led to Rey Fenix winning and using a Mexican muscle. What's it called? Sorry, I'm losing it, folks. Mexican muscle bomb. Close. And winning the match. Then Santos Escobar and the rest of the guys came out, and we're going to try to congratulate Rey. Rey was kind of iffy, like, what's going on? I'm being surrounded. Am I going to be attacked? But he was trying to give him Escobar was trying to give him praise. Berto just ran out, which is kind of leading you to believe maybe Santos Escobar's group is going to eventually break up, because afterwards we had a segment afterwards where Santos was basically gaslighting Berto. Then they had a weird break. Then all of a sudden they came back there, and Andrade was there saying he's a great wrestler and all that, and Berto was just annoyed by the loss and just left, which is the first time we've seen Andrade in almost 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So I don't know what this is going to lead into, with this whole luchador thing. I'm kind of interested a little bit to see what Andrade is going to do because it'd be a nice little twist to do it in there. Your thoughts?
Um, man, I'm happy to see that Ray Phoenix is on in WWE doing this thing, man. If you watch AEW, you know what he brings, what Penta brings, what they both bring as solo competitors. I can't wait to see them reunite at some point down the line. But I'm glad to see that they're on two separate brands, getting their shine as solo competitors. Um, as it pertains to Andrade, man, I don't know. Like, I've never been an Andrade fan, so honestly, like, I'm at the point where it's just like, you know, find something for him to do, I guess, because like it seemed like the last time we saw him on TV, it was the whole thing with him and LA Knight and
Carmelo.
Mello Hayes. Yeah, and so I it just felt so out of place. So I'm like, hopefully they find something, consistent for them to do, have a consistent, rivalry, I guess, against somebody. So uh, Ray Phoenix would be that good person. It'll be nice series of matches between these two. So we'll see what happens down the line.
You mentioned you not into Andrade. The last time I really felt something with Andrade is when we talk about this next lady here, Selena Vega, when she was his manager. Speaking of Selena, she had a match against Chelsea Green. Before the match, both Piper and Alba were in the training room getting looked at because they took a little bit of a beating, and Chelsea realized, I'm by myself. I am screwed. And Selena just rubbed in her face saying, I got your number tonight. Really nothing really too much to write on. I literally went to the bathroom quickly and came back, and the match was over. It was, I believe, under a minute. It was due to a count out. Chelsea Green was outside for a 10 count. Selena's basically got an easy win. Yeah, really, honestly, piss break. I think they're just trying to build up Selena as a solo competitor on SmackDown and try to get her the women's U.S. title. I would love to see Selena with the U.S. women's title. I think she would be great with it. I do love Chelsea with it, though. With everything with the gimmick going on, especially with the Secret Service stuff, it's perfect. But,
Yep.
Yeah, they should have done something different, which I know they're not trying to make Chelsea look weak or anything like that. It's right now, for character, being blondish, if you will, just ditty, all that. Just, yeah, this match wasn't it really for me, just the way they did it. Any thoughts, C?
Yeah, same here. It was a piss break for me as well. Yep.
All right. Then next coming up, we
But
had.
yeah, I do think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. It's I guess, a little time delay. But no. But yeah, I think. With Chelsea, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like a. I think after she won the title initially, I think. It's kind of like a slow burn after that, because it's like the build up to winning a championship for the first time is always good. It's just everything else that comes after that. I do like the whole Secret Service gimmick too, but I think it's time for her to have like um, a legit opponent, and so we'll see what happens. Down the line with her title run, because you still want to make it. Oh my God. Change the the bottom ticker. I just noticed what it was.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah. But yes, you wanna have your champion, even a mid card champion, you wanna have them have a successful run. As a champion, and having great opponents throughout their run does matter. So yeah, we'll see what happens down the line with Chelsea.
As much as that was a surprise ending, we also had a surprise superstar show up. We had Roxanne Perez show up and saying she's going to try and have a meeting with Nick Aldis, saying how Ava hasn't given her a shot at a stand and deliver, so she's going to take initiative herself. And was talking a little shit about Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany came around the corner, which, by the way, if you haven't been on social media, she got attacked by Charlotte out in the parking lot. You missed the chance for Chicago. I think that would have been perfect, but whatever. So your next match of the night was Stratton versus Perez. Get notes here. It's been a while also, too, because they brought up the history with these two women on NXT. It's been a minute since these two women faced against each other. But ultimately, Tiffany Stratton won the match. And then Charlotte, of course, being the heel that she is now, even though originally the plan was for her to be babyface, us as the fans suck. And it's led to this whole turn. But, yeah, Charlotte came out and attacked Tiffany Stratton. Match itself, I thought was great. You're definitely highlighting Roxanne when she does make her eventual come up. And I'm hoping it is on SmackDown, especially for the 3 hours. That's going to help her. And I think they're kind of going to do the same thing like Carmelo. She probably going to take some losses, but she is the future of the company. And it's going to help her build up more and more until she's the superstar that we know she is in NXT. The attack itself, I mean, what's happened. We already saw the video on X, the parking lot incident today. So nothing really too much right on. And just with how everything's going on with this feud, it's either going to be extremely banger of a match where we're still talking about it for years to come, or it's going to be a complete shit show between Tiffany and Charlotte. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I was happy to see. I thought it was a solid match for the most part. It was good to see Roxanne back on television, getting being showcased. I do think she's a future, of the division, and so I think once this whole thing is with Charlotte is over, I would not mind seeing her in the mix for a championship opportunity. I know it probably won't be her right off the jump after Tiffany beats Charlotte, but I'm pretty sure she'll be probably next up after that, or who knows, she might win Money in the Bank, in July, so or June, July, whenever they have it. But yeah, so I definitely think her time is coming. As it pertains to Tiffany and Charlotte. I didn't see the attack video. I don't think they loaded it yet, but hear about it as the second attack happened. And so I was like, okay, all right, we're getting more action between the two. I prefer for it to be more action than talking at this point between those two. I think
after
it
last
adds
week
to
with that
the
promo,
build up.
you got to be all action.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be throwing hands at this point. So yeah, it was nice to see. Like I said, I got Tiffany retaining at Mania. I don't think Charlotte, she doesn't benefit by winning. If anything, she needs to be helping put over the younger talent. Her time has passed her by. She doesn't need any more championships. Uh, so yeah, those are my thoughts.
The thing is, I really do have a gut feeling they're going to give the title to Charlotte at WrestleMania. As much as it's going to pain me, I think it might also be the right call. Just after the comments Virgil made, it's kind of one of those things where I just took it, slept on it, and like, he's kind of right. But at the same time, also us as fans seeing Charlotte win and kind of turn on it, it's also our fault too. At the same time, how Tiffany's not really ready at this moment for WrestleMania with the championship, so it's kind of an odd situation too. Also, speaking of championships, I did forget we did have a promo with Cody Rhodes with all the versions during different eras of the WWE championships there, and basically just talking more shit about John and also mentioned about the spinner belt, which he almost had it when he spun it, almost landed perfectly in the middle, which I thought if it would have landed perfectly in the middle, it would have been cool, but whatever. So it's just, carry on to next week's with WrestleMania and when John comes back for that Friday Night Smackdown. But this leads us into our main event of the night. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton, LA Knight. This was all due to the beginning of the show. Let's see. The beginning of the match, really. As the Bloodline had advantage. Eventually, you know how it is. Randy Orton's going to get his licks in. Same thing of LA Knight. A lot of chaos going on to eventually where Randy and Solo are taking their beef and just beating the living crap out of each other out into the fans, out into the crowd, and going all the way backstage. And basically, LA Knight securing the win after getting a throat spike from Solo before that. He's still got that lingering effect from it. Then Jacob Fatu coming out and attacking LA Knight. And just throughout the rest of the show, just beating the old crap, looking at the title, then just realizing, nah, I ain't done. And getting one of the final shots of him looking the title and holding it above LA Knight. I like the match. I'm still curious what the pivot is, who's Randy going to face. Fans, leave a comment. Who do you think that Randy's going to face at WrestleMania? Is it Aldis? Is it Solo now since they kind of threw this idea at us? Is it Aleister Black? Is it Rusev? Let us know. But at the same time, I'm also ready for Jacob Fatu to become men's US. As much as I love LA Knight, it's time to give some gold to Fatu. Because after this, he's going to be going for the main title, maybe my World Heavyweight Championship or Virgil's WWE Championship. But that man, after this year, he's going to be main eventing WrestleManias till he retires. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm also ready for Jacob to, take off, man. I believe he's going to win at Mania. I think him and Jay are both going to have their moments at Mania. It'll be nice. It'll be great to see, honestly. But in terms of this match, I thought it was pretty solid main event. About Jacob, just a side note, I was watching an interview. I guess he has a brother. I forgot his brother's name, but his brother is almost like they're twins, man. Like his brother is bald, and I guess he was being interviewed by that
Or the Waffle
that
House
Malcolm
guy?
Muscle guy or whatever his name
Yes.
is. He's the one. Yeah. And so he was interviewing him or whatever, and basically he was talking about how how he's more like on the quiet side, but when he mess around with his family or friends and stuff like that, he unlocks the dark side of him or whatever it is, and so it's almost like watching Jacob, but just like this dude ain't got no hair. He talks just like him. The mannerisms, everything is like the same. The beard, he has more clean beard a little bit, but like it's almost like they damn near twins. And I'm like, oh man, there's so many of these motherfuckers, man. Like I'm like at some point, the whole company might mess around and be taken over by the Samoans, bro. Because like they
another one
they just
on
talented
NXT.
as hell. The entire is it Zilla?
Not Zilla.
Is it the dude that
begins with an H.
Booker T guy? Because I know he been the one that was feuding with Booker T.
No. There's Lance.
Okay.
I know Lance has been signed. That hasn't been talks about Lance.
Yeah.
And then his name begins with an H. He's supposed to be coming to NXT shortly and get a major push. I think they're going to try to express him quickly to the main roster and do another bloodline storyline, but maybe with Jacob taking the front lead. That's kind of what I'm assuming.
It's never going to. Hey, this. Yeah, the bloodline thing is never done. Like every 5 years, there's a new Samoan introduced.
especially when you get Jay winning the World Heavyweight Championship and then Jacob Fatu. The rest of them are going to be coming out from the
That's gonna be
crowd in
crazy.
hoodies.
That's going to be crazy, bro. Yeah. Vegas is going to be a movie, man, and
I
and
kind of
what
also
better
wonder.
place for it to happen? So.
And I also kind of wonder the more the news, like a new member from the Bloodline is going to happen when we finally get Roman versus Rock, either at WrestleMania 42, 43, 44, whenever the Rock's schedule's cleared up and he's finally ready to come back, and those two go at it. All of them are going to be ringside. I wonder if it's going to be like a Samoan lumberjack match at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that idea.
Yeah. Speaking of The Rock, I feel like, yeah, I dig it too. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, man, they should have definitely made the Jay versus Gunther match a Samoan lumberjack match. Just have the entire family surrounding the ring and kind of like make Gunther put the pressure on Gunther to retain.
And have Jimmy in
And
the
then whenever he
wheelchair
goes
with
outside the
Pat.
ring,
Having
right? Exactly. Yeah, that would be cool to see.
Having pull Kevin Nash,
Yeah.
making it take off the blanket.
Right. But yeah, man, I definitely yeah. Speaking of The Rock, I feel like we probably gonna see him next Friday. If not next Friday, either next Monday or next Friday. I feel like if Cena is gonna be on SmackDown, this is probably the best time, and they're gonna be in Vegas, so you might as well have The Rock there. I feel like he's definitely gonna at least be there in Vegas. There's no way in hell he's not gonna be there in Vegas the whole weekend, especially with everything going on.
Because I feel like Raw right now is heavily focused on Roman, because Roman's going to be there Monday night. So you might as well have The Rock and Cena on Friday night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't want to have everything overshadowed.
Exactly. But that has been our Friday night lowdown, throwdown, hoedown, bring it around town, break an egg, throw it against a wall, punch a wall, drink a white monster, or do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host, the freaking one, Fritos, and my established guest, Big Daddy C. Thank you for tuning in. We are the hottest and growing wrestling podcast out there. So please help us out by share, and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment what you thought about the show. Leave us a comment who you think Randy Orton's going to face at WrestleMania. And make sure, keep an eye out. Click those notification buttons. We have more content coming out in the future. We've got some ideas cooking. They're good ones, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, as Virgil would say, keep those booking pencils sharp and keep on booking. Peace.